just tell you some good news to kick this off tonight. You're really gonna like this, especially since most of you are sitting here eating snacks for dinner, okay? A new study has come out recently that says laughter is better than exercise and diet for you. It's healthier. Isn't that great? Yes, she's applauding. Yes. Yes, and that's exactly why I like to stand in front of the windows at fitness centers and point and just laugh at everybody in there exercising. You know, it's neat because I go away feeling better about myself and I didn't even sweat. You know what I mean? That's kind of a good feeling. You know, but I'll tell you what, exercise is a big deal these days. A lot of people are doing it. They're pushing it. Seems like around Christmas time, they're trying to sell all this exercise equipment or those Fitbits. I got to tell you, a good friend of mine, this is going to impress you, a good friend of mine, Bob Reeds here, he just turned 80 this year, turned 80. He still gets in 10,000 steps a day. Yeah, and that's just back and forth to the bathroom. So, I mean, that's it's very impressive. Very, very impressive. Yeah, I got to tell you, one of my last comedy shows I did, I had two different people come up to me separately and say to me, "You look just like John Cena, the professional wrestler, John Cena." Yeah, I know, right? Isn't that weird? Yeah, I was confused too, because usually when someone says that, I have my shirt off. And so I was like, I don't understand how you can figure that out now. John Cena. You know, I don't know how many of you go out on a regular basis now. I know with the inflation, it's really expensive to go out. But my wife and I were at Olive Garden the other night, and it seems Olive Garden did something that I'm seeing just about everywhere I go. Almost every restaurant that I go to where you have to put a name in, this is what they said to us. I said this at Olive Garden. "And can I get a good name for that?" Well, then I got really nervous because I'm like, what if my name's not good enough? Like, what is their standard? Have they ever turned someone away because their name just wasn't good enough? I was afraid I was going to say Brett and they were going to go, I think you could do better than that. John Cena? I don't know. I mean, something like that. Anybody here on a date tonight? Like tonight is date night for you? Yeah, all right. Very good. Now, are you married or just dating?
Married.
Married. How long have you been married?
4 years.
4 years. Congratulations. Yeah, so this is date night. Did you come a long way for this, or do you live in the neighborhood?
We live in the neighborhood.
Okay, so date night. Here's the interesting thing about dating, and you probably know this after 4 years now. Dating's interesting because a lot of times we get set up on these blind dates. Anybody here ever been on a blind date?
Not at all.
Anybody ever wish you were blind after you picked up your date? So we go on these blind dates, and here's how it works. It's called a blind date, but if you end up really liking each other, then you tell people you're seeing each other. So some miracle has happened in all of this. If you go on the date and you begin to see each other and then you kind of end up not liking each other as much, then you let people know we are no longer seeing each other. Okay? But if you do continue to see each other and you fall in love and you get married, then you no longer hear each other. It's just a weird, it's weird how it just sort of morphs like that, you know. My wife and I have been dating for 33 and a half years. We've been married 32 years, and we still love to go on these dates, but I know what's going to happen every time we go on a date. You know, we're going to have fun. Maybe we do a movie, maybe we do dinner, but we typically usually end up going out eating at some point on the date, and this is what happens. We finish our dinner, and then they give us the dessert menu, and my wife will pick something that I don't like, and she'll say, oh, you should try a bite. Try a bite. No, I'm good. No, really, you need to try a bite. No, I don't want it. You ever have something like this in your life? No, this is so good, please, just try a bite. And I say, but I don't like lemon. And she's like, you can barely taste it. But it's lemon pie. And I know it's a trick because what she wants is she wants to try my dessert. And I don't want to share my dessert. Look, 32 years into this, I find nothing romantic about sharing my dessert. You had opportunity to get your own. I had opportunity to get my own. Why do you? And she'll even say this to the waiter. She'll say, "No, I'm good. I'll have a bite of his." And I'm always like, "Excuse me?" Because I know what that means. He'll have a bite of his because I'm going to eat almost all of it, right? And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how mature you feel you are. You're always going to be faced with that battle of sharing. I have a 2-year-old grandson, and all of us in the family are trying to teach him about sharing. And it's very difficult because I don't want to share the certain things that I have that I like a lot. And my wife and my daughter think I'm cruel. Now, I draw the line at dairy products. I'm not going to share milk. I'm not going to share ice cream. I'm not going to share cheese with you. That's just the way it is. And the reason is those products tend to have saliva afterlife after he's been into it. And my wife said, "That's just so cruel." And I'm like, "No, it's wise is what that is. That's what that is." And then the thing is with a 2-year-old, you can teach them about sharing, but they never share the things you want them to share. You want them to share information. Where did you get that? Why are you crying? Did you mess your diaper? You want that kind of information. They don't. You want to play with the cool toys that you bought them. No, they don't share that. You know what they share? They share sucked on goldfish crackers and 2 fruit snacks stuck to the sweat on their palm. And he's always like, "Hey, Papa," and I'm like, And at that moment, I have to make a decision. Do I teach him about sharing and thank him for it? Or do I teach him another hard lesson in life, and that is you don't always get what you want, and say, "No, thank you, I'm fine." I bet I have about 300 pounds of food behind my recliner at home because I'm like, "Oh, thank you." You know, it's like, what are we doing here? It's important to raise your kids properly, though. We not only are trying to train him in sharing, we're trying to train him in all kinds of things. Now, when he gets older, his mother, of course, is going to train him in the importance of thank you cards. My mom trained me in the importance of thank you cards. And let me ask you this. Have any of you ever gone to like a 1-year-old's birthday party and come home and 2 weeks later you get a thank you card in the mail from the baby? And you open the card and it's like really nice writing. "Thank you for the rattle. I'll rattle it a lot." And then at the bottom, there's this signature that's so sloppy. It's like they put the pen in the little baby's hand and then they mail it. And you know what's funny about these thank you cards is men and women always respond differently to these thank you cards from babies. Women go, "Oh, that's so sweet. The baby sent us a card." And men go, "You know they didn't write that, don't you? Dumb baby, can't even spell his name good. Come on." Well, I don't like shopping, except for food shopping. I do like food. Any grocery shoppers? You like grocery shopping? Yeah, that's the only kind of shopping I really like. Grocery shopping, though, is different than any other kind of shopping you do. You know, if you go to a department store, first thing they do, they spot you, they come up to you and they say, "Hey, what can we do for you today? What are you looking for? How can I get you in that special jacket or outfit that you want?" Or you go to a car dealership and man, they meet you out in the parking lot and they're like, "Hey, what are you looking for? What can I get you in here today for? A good special deal?" You ever notice at a grocery store it's completely different? They just let you wander around for about an hour, trying to figure things out with no help at all. You know how I know this? What's the first thing they ask you when you get in their line at the grocery store? "Did you find everything okay?" Beep. I was at Safeway one time. They say this to me every time I go through the line. There was this young gal helping me there, you know, and she's like, "Beep, Did you find everything okay? Beep. And I said, I did, but what if I didn't? And she went, beep. So this is just a big game for you, huh? I've been here since Tuesday. I just found the ham. How does that make you feel? And you know, these cashiers, they're trained to become your friend while you're in their line. Because what they want is they want you to want to come back to the same store again, right? So they're going to do everything they can to build a short relationship with you. And here's how they do it. They look at the products that you're going to purchase. They look at the products on the conveyor belt there, and then they try to guess things about you. So here's an example of what they might do. There might be candy and popcorn and pop on there, and they might go, beep. Oh, somebody's having a party tonight? Beep. You're like, well, yeah, you know. Or there might be a bunch of baking ingredients up there, and they go, beep. Oh, you're going to do some baking tonight, huh? Well, got me guilty, You ever notice they have nothing to say when you have a bunch of toilet paper up on that thing? It's just like this awkward silence, like, hope you feel better. I really can't blame them, because I think toilet paper companies have done a terrible job advertising their product. Here's why. On the front of every package of toilet paper, we have pictures of puppies, babies, and bears. The three who don't use toilet paper. Yeah, I'm going out in the woods. I know how much bears like this stuff. Just thought I'd stock up, Come on. Okay, there is one other kind of thing I do like shopping for. I like shopping for beds. I've only done it once, but it was such an impacting experience that it's never left me. See, my wife and I, after being married 20 years, we decided we need a new bed. So we went out and we went bed shopping. And bed shopping is great because you know how you do it? You lay down. It's the best kind of shopping. My wife hates it when I lay down in department stores and stuff, but here, bed shopping, I could do it the whole time. So we were going around and we were laying down in the beds and, trying to remember, I don't know about that one, I don't know about this one. We finally get to this bed store, furniture store. We're laying there and we're like, oh, this is the bed. Yes, this is the one. It was a memory foam bed. Okay, you hear those? And then we took the price tag. I looked at the price tag. Well, there's something you'll never forget. I was like, well, the store guy there, the employee, he saw how disappointed we were when we looked at the price, and he said, well, I'll tell you what, if you like that bed, he says, we do have a bargain room where we have some discounted beds if you'd like to come and get one of those and look at those. I said, sure, yeah, let's do that. I'm here to tell you, my wife and I did buy one of those discounted beds. It's a short-term memory foam bed, but boy, you'll get it on the way home. Anyhow, it starts off really good. My wife and I, we just got back from a trip last week. We went and rented an Airbnb out in the mountains, and it was an incredible time. Here was one of the best parts of it. Biggest bed I have ever been in my life. It was like I think they're called California Kings or something like that. Huge bed. We're laying in bed the first night, and we each have a lamp on our side of the bed, and she turned off hers and I turned off mine, and I turned to kiss her. I rolled around for 20 minutes looking for her. We started playing Marco Polo. We're like, Marco Polo! I never found her the entire night. I finally just went to sleep. Wake up the next morning and Kim's like, oh, that was amazing. We need to get one of these when we get home. That best night of sleep we've ever had, she claims. She's an interesting woman. I love my wife. How many of you know Kim? Anybody here know? Yeah, all right. She's a great woman. Great woman. She's put up with me for 32 years. She's incredible, though. She'll hear things at night, but she never knows what it is. She just knows that it's bad. You know what I mean? It's never anything good like, I think we won the lottery. It's nothing like that. It's always, I think we're going to die. It's always something along those lines. And there was one night, I was sound asleep in bed, middle of the night. Pretty soon, Kim's shaking me. Brad, what? I think there's somebody in the house. I think somebody broke in. I can hear him walking downstairs. Now listen, men that are here. Look, I was sound asleep, having good dreams. I was warm, comfortable. And I'm like, well, let him have that TV. I don't even like that one. I don't want to get out of bed. She's like, please, will you go check? So, all right, do I get my gun? No, I'll get the bat. No, I'll use these. So I get out of bed and I'm walking to our door. Now our bedroom's a pretty good sized bedroom. And I'm walking to the door and pretty soon Kim goes, Brad, and she scares me. And I go, what? Be careful. So now it's at this point that I'm realizing I might die. I don't know who's down there. I don't know if there's a gang. I don't know. So I'm walking the rest of the way and I'm putting my hand on the doorknob of our room, realizing this might be the last time. And Kim goes, Brad, and it scares me again. What? Will you give me a water? You're closer, you're already up. She's a genius. There was no one downstairs. That's all a part of her plan. Well, now I'm upset. She's like, please. And I'm mumbling things. I'm going downstairs. There's nobody downstairs. I get her a glass of water. I come back up. I'm not happy. I hand her the water. I come around to my side of the bed. I crawl in the bed. And I want to scoot up to her. I want to snuggle her a little bit. And so I scoot up to her, and she goes like this. Oh, no, you don't. You're freezing. Because I got you water. Now, let me ask this. Is there anyone in the room that's engaged to be married, but you're not married? You're engaged to be married, but you're not married. Okay, is there anyone that's been married less than 4 years? How many? 2? How many back here? 3. I feel like I'm doing an option. 4. How about 4? I got 3. 3. All right, so 2 years. All right, my friend. Now listen, I'm going to talk to you. Ma'am, you can just chill out for a minute. I need to give you some advice, all right? I'm going to give you this advice because no one gave me this advice when I got married, and it would have been really, really helpful. It's not written anywhere. You just need to know it. Here's the advice I'm going to give you. Your wife has every right to press her 23-degree below zero body next to yours to warm up anytime she wants, and you have to let her. Okay? I hear an amen over here, okay? Now, we're not done yet. If you had a hole in your sock that day and your pinky toe was cold, you can't touch her until you get that thing fixed, okay? That's all the rules. I want you just to follow that. That'll save you a lot of pain and a lot of hardship in your marriage.
She thinks you know what you're talking about. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, you better listen to her. Better listen to her. Man, I'll tell you, see, you know what's so weird about sleeping though? Is have you ever had a part of your body fall asleep on its own while the rest of your body's up and wanting to do things, and that one part's asleep? Like it's usually an arm or a foot. I don't know why, but usually an arm or foot decide, you know what, we're checking in early tonight. And they tingle and they get, okay, you know, here's the strangest thing. We never hear people talking about any other part falling asleep. Like, I don't have people say to me, oh wait, my face is asleep. Or do you want something to eat? No, my stomach's sleeping right now. Right? We never hear things like this. It's always the foot or the arm. But I discovered something recently that has blown my mind. I'm 53 years old and I didn't even know this until recently. Did you know that your bum can fall asleep? Really? I followed an elderly man in QFC just a little while ago. His butt snored all the way down aisle 9. It was asleep the entire way. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. You know, my grandson Bryson, 2 years old, he's taken some naps with us. He's even slept in the bed overnight a few times. Why is it that toddlers cannot sleep parallel with the rest of the people in the bed? This kid, I'm telling you what, the first night he ever slept with us, I woke up in the morning, I'm not making this, I woke up in the morning with his feet on my face and his toes up my nose. And I'm looking at him, I remove his feet, and then he starts rubbing them on my face. I thought my head was going to burst into flames. He's rubbing them so fast. The next morning, the second time he slept with us, it was summertime, I slept with a shirt off. This is what I woke up to. He was acting like they were broken and needed to be tightened. It's like he was tuning in a radio. Like, what are you doing? And he rolls around. I promise you, this is how breakdancing started. Someone watched a toddler sleep with their parents or grandparents, saw him spin around. That looks cool. Let's make that into a dance. This kid cannot sleep, Harold. I think he kicks all night long. You would think he's dreaming about playing soccer or karate or something. I think the only reason is he was stuck in a womb for 9 months and just kicking out. And last time he kicked so hard, he got to get out, right? This time he's like getting out of bed. It's just very, very difficult knowing how to train kids, even in the art of sleeping. That's all right, though. We can't wait for Christmas. We can't wait for him to experience Christmas at this age. Christmas is coming. I don't know if you know this. There's Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas. Jesus was ever bummed that his birthday landed on Christmas? Do you think, which gifts are birthday, which gifts are Christmas? You know what's going to happen pretty soon, starting this next weekend? You're going to have the Salvation Army standing out there in front of the stores, ringing the bells, asking for a little bit of money. By the way, if this doesn't go over so good, you might try that, Mike, later on this week. Last year, I'm getting ready to walk into a store, and there's a Salvation Army guy. He's ringing his bell, but as I'm getting closer, I'm not hearing anything. And I'm like doing this, and I cannot hear a thing. And I get up to him, and I notice he has a piece of styrofoam cut in the shape of a bell. And he's just going like this. I'm not making this up. The guy stood there pretending he was ringing the bell. So I pretended I put money in the bucket. I just figured, I guess that's what we're doing. I don't know. I love Christmas music, not before December 1. But I love Christmas music. But I tell you, some of these Christmas songs, listen to them this year. Listen to the Christmas songs this year, some of your favorite. Silent night. Holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Stop right there. You're telling me a teenage virgin girl is giving a birth to her first baby in a barn full of animals when her husband forgot to make reservations, and that was a silent night? I don't think so. I think there was probably enough yelling they could hear it a few fields away. That's my opinion. And as she's sitting there giving birth, man, I don't know if she was squeezing Joseph's hand or not, but I'll tell you this, the only thing going for him was he could look at her and go, hey, don't look at me, I had nothing to do with this. Don't blame me. Then you have those really cheerful, nice Christmas songs that get you in the mood, like, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding, now bring us some figgy pudding and bring it right here. We won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, so bring it right here. Is this a robbery? Like, do we have to call the SWAT team and negotiators in for this? What is this? Can you imagine going to grandma's house? We ain't leaving until we get it, bring it now. And I don't even know what a figgy is. I haven't figured it out yet, but all I can say is I don't think it's worth a holdup in grandma's kitchen. You know what I mean? I think they were hangry. Whoever wrote that song, they were hangry. You ever get like that? You ever get really, really hungry? You know, I had someone tell me the other day, I forgot to eat. How? Now, I'm not the most in shape guy, and I know most of you are like, well, he's never forgotten to eat. No, I have not. And it's not because I eat all the time, it's because I have this internal alarm that says, it's time to eat. And when people say to me, I forgot to eat, how? My stomach growls me. Here's the weird thing about stomach growls. I could be in a loud stadium. I could be at CenturyLink Field for 3 football games in a row, night after night, and my stomach would never growl. But the moment I'm in a quiet church service or a prayer meeting, has your stomach ever growled in church and people thought you had a demon? They're like throwing oil on you. Get out! Get out! Be embarrassing. Now, I was at the dentist. I was sitting there, and my dental hygienist was cleaning my teeth. And you know, they sit on that little stool next to you, and she had me turn my head. Well, now my head is literally like facing her stomach. And the whole time she's cleaning my teeth, I'm hearing, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. I don't know if I should say anything or not. I mean, it's right in my face. And I didn't know if like some terrestrial, like alien, fluoride monster was gonna come out. I didn't know what was going on. And I got up the guts, I finally turned to her and I said, do you have a chihuahua in your shirt? There was like a dog, and she said, I haven't eaten, I'm so sorry. I'm like, well, when you're done with me, you better get down to the buffet, or at least a box of Twinkies or something, because there's something in there that wants some food right now. We are just finishing this conversation, and the dentist comes walking in. He sits down on the stool, and he gets up close to me, and this is what he says. Brett, do you like the color of your teeth? Now, I don't know if I'm the only human being on this planet that the dentist has ever sincerely asked, do you like the color of your teeth? And I was so taken back by it, I just went, well, I'm trying to go for that bruised banana look, a little brown, a little yellow. And I'm just like, what, does it not go with my outfit? I don't understand. But then I got curious, I'm thinking, I am getting a little older. Maybe I should go check on some of these products I might need later. So I'm walking through the store and I find that Polygrip denture cream, just in case. And I look at that denture cream and it says proudly in big bold letters, no artificial coloring or flavoring. Yeah, because you wouldn't want anything fake in your mouth, like dentures. And I'm like, you know what? That's right. I want my new teeth to taste just like the old ones. People come up to me and they say, Brett, are your teeth artificially colored? Nope, they're really yellow. I mean, it's just the way they are. It's the way they are. Now, it's interesting how you can go in these different stages of life and so forth. When I was 12, my brother was 15. We were on a family vacation. We took a lot of road trips as a family. We had a 1977 Monte Carlo, and I was sitting in the back. My brother and I are sitting in the back, and I don't remember where we were headed, but my head was back, and it was leaning over the back of the seat so that my Adam's apple was protruding quite distinctly. My brother thought this would be funny. He thought this was a great opportunity for him, and he looked at my Adam's apple, and he turned sideways. He didn't have to wear buckles back in those days. He turned sideways in the car. He took his middle finger, which was about the size of a tree branch and almost as strong, and he flicked my Adam's apple as hard as he could. He shot it to the back of my neck. I woke up, I got like a hole with a little bit of applesauce left, right? And I'm holding it, and my brother immediately went like this, and I said, Mom, I'm like, grab her, Mom, Brandon, hear me. And she's like, he's asleep. Okay. He shoved that thing so far, but I thought for the rest of my life I was going to be one of those, oh, hello, I got it, you know, I got it. And I'm laying there, if I would have laid on my stomach at a golf course, people could have teed off from the back of my neck. It was so bad. So bad. Different experiences. Hey, let me ask you something. We got a nice room full of people here. It's a good Saturday night. How many of you love games, board games? How many of you love, raise your hand if you love board games, okay? All right, can I give you board gamers just a little bit of advice, please? Not everyone likes to do that, okay? This year alone, I have been to no less than 4 different friends' homes, I think maybe 5. Every one of them, after dinner, they have said to me, hey, do you like games? And they're standing there with a handful of games. And my answer, and I'm thinking, look, this is my chance. They're asking me, they want me to give an honest answer, because you only ask company honest questions. Do you like games? And I said, no, I don't. Well, let's play this one anyways. Every one of them. Well, let's play this one anyways. Why did you ask? And why don't you care that I'm going to be miserable now? Because the only reason you would play a game with someone like me now is to humiliate them and be able to brag that you just beat them. But I never wanted to play in the first place. I wanted to say, hey, do you like to stick your head in the oven and try to keep it there as long as you can before all your hair burns off? No. Well, let's do it anyways. Let's just try it. Then I can say to them, do you like the way your face looks burned like that? And then be like my dentist. No, I don't understand people that don't listen to you. Do you like this? No. Okay, let's do it. It was really a strange thing. You know what else I don't understand? I still don't understand this. I didn't understand it growing up. I don't understand it now. My dad is 77. That's not the part I don't understand. 77 years old. Growing up, I can tell you what was in every one of his pockets every day of my life. Keys in the right pocket, chapstick in this pocket, wallet and small black comb in this pocket, and a handkerchief in this back pocket that he referred to as his hanky. I don't understand hankies. My dad would pull that out, blow stuff into it, roll it back up, put it right back in the pocket. Of all the things we could collect, Dad, why are those collectibles to you? I don't understand why you wouldn't just blow and throw, but no, you blow and you keep. And what was the worst thing is if I sniffled just a little bit, here it came out. Come on, come over here. No! I was more afraid of my dad pulling out his hanky than I was of him taking his belt off. You know what I mean? He would pull out this hanky, open it up, and I'd be like, what in the world? It'd be like a design on there. I know. This is why I'm bringing it up. It is disgusting. And then he didn't even give me time to find a dry spot. He just would press it up there. And he would say, blow. And I'm like, and I learned it. I don't care if I have 107-degree fever. I don't care if I have the worst cold ever. I will never sniff around my dad because I don't want that thing coming out of there. I don't get it. I don't understand. His dad taught him. His dad was from the Depression. You just don't throw things away. Well, there are things you throw away, okay? When you blow your nose, you're trying to get away from it, not put it somewhere else on you, all right? So bad. Oh, man. Hey, with the weather changing now, there should be less road construction. Don't you hate summertime road construction? I love summertime, but road construction. You know what's so crazy about road construction? You pull up to a section, and there's this huge 30-foot by 30-foot hole with cones and flashing lights and barriers all around it, machinery in it. And then there's one person holding a sign that says slow or stop. Now, I just gotta say, sometimes I think that slow sign is more a description of the person holding it than a command for us, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because it never fails. I get up to this big construction pit, and they always go like this. And they point to the only possible lane I could go in, because there's only one lane available. And they always act so superior to me, like, it's that one, right there. This. And I just want to put my head out the window and go, oh, thank you. I was going to go up on the hillside through the sticker bushes and come back around. You saved me the trouble, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And then what's crazy is those ones that act like they're Jedi Knights. You know, you come pulling up and they've got the sign and they're doing this with their hand. You know, they got the slow sign, but then they do this. And then they put their hand up. Just like a Jedi. Here's what I love to do with them. I like to stop about 150 yards out. Just stop. And they'll be like, and then I just gun it. And then they don't know what to do. No, stop. So, please, you gotta have some fun in road construction. I mean, come on. This summer, we had a hot summer this year. We had a very hot summer. You know, I bought a new truck not long ago, and the temperature, it's really cool. It's the first vehicle I ever had that had the temperature on the mirror. I thought that was kind of a neat little deal. And when I bought it was wintertime, and so I remember driving it over the pass and watching the temperature drop like 35, 33, then it said 31, and then all of a sudden the word ice just came up on my mirror. It said ice. I thought, oh, that's super cool. That's really neat. This last summer I'm driving along, it said 91, 93, 97, and then it just said hell. It was the weirdest. I don't know how it just know that. It's just weird. Very, very weird. But it was hot. You know, what's different in Washington in the summer now, most people, when I grew up, no one had air conditioners in their house. We all had fans. And it's different than the fans today. Today the fans are these little plastic square boxes that have these plastic grills over them with really tiny holes, and you just put on high. Man, when I was growing up in the 70s, my parents put a fan in the middle of the living room that had blades on it that could cut firewood, man. I mean, these things were sharp, and they had this metal grill over the top that was just big enough you could fit your head through it. You know? My parents might as well have just parked a small airplane in the living room, left the prop running. It would have been just as safe. You know, today or in those days, instead of it saying low, medium, high, it used to say nick, cut, and sever. You know, I mean, it's like, because you know your older brother's always trying to talk you into put the pencil in there, then put G.I. Joe, put your finger, you know, no, I only have 4 left. Yeah, I mean, you know. Big brothers can be mean, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what this is? Clippity-clop, 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 bang. Clippity-clop, 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 bang. That's an Amish drive-by shooting. Sorry, just want to see if you're awake. I have a friend who is deaf, and they're Italian. And you can tell she's Italian because she's always talking with her hands, you know, but you'll get that one on the way home. Anyhow, sorry. I just appreciate you. Can I just say that? If we could just get the cameras onto her, I appreciate you. You're really making my night. Thank you. Thank you. So nice. You know, as a minister, I do a lot of weddings and a lot of funerals. And it's funny because I have to make sure I'm remembering which I'm doing because, you know, right? And what's so weird though is I feel like we should probably trade some traditions with both of them, add them in there. Here's why. Almost every wedding I do, or I'm a part of, or I go to, they always say, till death do you part, right? Till death do you part. Oh, you gotta bring that into the ceremony, right? Well, if we're gonna bring those things into the wedding ceremony, why don't we use some of the traditions in weddings and bring those into funerals? Here's what I suggest. In weddings, the bride, at the end of the reception, always takes her bouquet, and all the single women line up behind her, and she throws the bouquet, and all the women die for that chance to catch that bouquet of flowers. Wouldn't it be cool at the end of funeral services, the next of kin goes up, gets that spray of flowers off the casket, throws it over his shoulder, and person catches it, you're next, you know, I mean. I think it would be entertaining, you know. They fall her one spring. I don't know if many of you know this, but during COVID, I lost all my work. No one was gathering together for comedy shows or services or whatever, so I had to get another job. Well, the job I got, I was a removal technician for the largest mortuary in North America. Now, a removal technician is a fancy way of saying I picked up dead bodies. And I did that for over 14 months, picked up well over 400 or 500 bodies, and it was an interesting job. Here's what I discovered in the middle of the job, though. Do you know that God uses things from your past experiences, to prepare you for future experiences? And in this job as a removal technician, I realized hunting, I'm a hunter. I've hunted my whole life. Hunting actually prepared me for this job. Who would ever thought? I'll tell you how. Here was the rules. When I showed up to a place, the first thing I had to do was locate the body. Same with hunting. I have to locate the deer. Second thing I have to do, when I locate the body, first thing I had to do then is tag the body. Hunting, first thing you gotta do is you gotta tag that deer when you get him. Third thing I had to do is I had to then remove the body. Just like deer hunting, I had to remove the body. Now, I will say I got a lot of strange looks when I'd hang them up from a tree limb and take pictures, but still, a lot of things just crossed over. It was really, really neat how that all worked. I did just get back from deer hunting about 2 weeks ago, and I got one. I got a doe, but it's okay. With the new transgender laws, I just identified it as a buck, and so I thought that was good. That was good. Kept me safe. That was fine. But you know, the thing about hunting in me, I have to tell you something about me is I love the great outdoors, but I hate snakes. I hate snakes. And I'm so glad Western Washington hardly has any. Eastern Washington has some rattlers, but I can't stand snakes. And you know what I really don't like? I don't like when people come up to me and say, Brett, snakes are more afraid of you than you are of them. No, I don't think so. Oh, where are you getting your information? Who told you that? A snake? Because the last time a snake talked, he lied, and the world hasn't been the same since. So, I mean, honestly, I don't even know why God created snakes. I mean, I'm sure they're easy to make, you know, but it's just like, hey, God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless Global Radio Outreach. May you bless them tonight. I hope you enjoyed your time. Thanks for having me. God bless you. Thank you.